Hey everyone, it's Diego Viteri. Welcome to a new video of Viteri Boxing. Today I want to teach you aggressive defense. And for defense, this time I mean, of course, footwork. Footwork is the art of boxing. This is how you move. This is how you can connect punches. And this is going to be the way that you're going to connect your opponent coming forward. So the three main things I'm going to teach you today is moving laterally, how you can move laterally fast, how you can change direction and throw in a punch, and of course how you can punch moving backwards but also break the line of attack so he can go all the way if he wants, but you can change direction and punch him. So let's begin with those three techniques. So if we're going to have aggressive defense, we need to know the first thing is how to move laterally, to move out of the way from our opponent. But of course, we're not trying to escape. We are trying to make more opportunities for ourselves. If my opponent comes forward, what I'm going to do is I will abandon my normal lateral stance, because I don't want to. This stance is not good to move laterally. If you want to stay to moving laterally like this, it's not as fast as if you go into a neutral position or a square position and you move laterally. You can move laterally a lot faster if I move this way. If you see Sugar Ray Leonard, you see Muhammad Ali, that they used to move a lot around in the ropes, you will see that they will abandon their stance and they will move completely in a neutral position. But don't think that because I'm in a neutral position, I have less of a chance to punch my opponent. Actually, when I do this, when I bring my leg back, I'm actually having more opportunities. Now in this neutral position, I can go to a southpaw and punch my opponent. I can go in orthodox, punch my opponent. I can move, and I can catch him moving forward. I can catch him moving here. So it's really good to have this neutral position, because it improves our ways of punching, and it makes our opponent have a false sense that he's actually cutting off the ring. He thinks he's cutting off the ring, but actually we are just moving, waiting for him when he comes in, and we just punch from any position. We're in a neutral position. I can do whatever I want. Even I can go back and punch from a southpaw position. So how can you move naturally? So the technique is like this. You go from your regular stance. What you're going to do is you're going to bring your lead leg. You're going to bring completely aligned with your rear leg. Once they are aligned, you have to move this one with a little shuffle. So how it looks is like this. You move this one out and you move laterally. The same if you go from southpaw. You go from southpaw and you move laterally. That's the way you move. That's the way you move laterally. And from this position, this neutral position, you can surprise your opponent and make him believe that he's actually cutting off the ring, but he's going to get into any of your punches from southpaw or orthodox. A good drill that you could work at home is using a hula hoop. You're going to start from your regular stance, and what you're going to do, you're going to bring the leg that is inside, you're going to bring out of it, and you're going to move laterally. You're going to move around. You're going to move around the hula hoop, and whenever you want, you're going to throw a punch. You move to one side, to the other, and you're gonna do a little step going forward so you can catch your opponent. Now what I want to teach you is a side step with a punch or changing direction. If you are moving with your opponent, you have to understand how to punch. If you move to the side, if you move to the other side, the main thing you need to understand is that you're going to work opposite ways. You're going to work with your right leg with your left arm, and left leg with your right arm. It's almost like the shifting that you work always with the opposite side, but this time we're going to move laterally. If my opponent comes forward, I don't want just to escape from it. I want to punch him also. I want to be aggressive. I want to have an aggressive defense. And for that, you're going to just bring your rear leg to the side step, and you're going to throw your jab. From these positions, I have a complete defense. I'm moving out of the way, out of the line of attack, and of course, I'm punching my opponent. And the same thing, from the same position, you move to the side and you throw across. So if he comes forward, you can punch, and at the same time, you're gonna, after you finish this, you're gonna end up with the lateral movement that I just showed you before. So you're here, you're waiting for him, you will do a lateral step with your opposite side. This way you will be completely sideways with defense, and after you finish, you move laterally. So you combine both techniques. The thing is combining both techniques. A side step with punching, and after that, you combine with the lateral movement. And now the third technique is to punch moving backwards so you can be able to fight your opponent, being defensive but also aggressive whenever he comes forward, not just escape from your opponent. So if you're in this position, we're going to maintain the same connection between leg and arm. What I mean is if I move my left leg or my lead leg backwards, I'm gonna use the same arm. I'm gonna use the same arm, always ending in the tip of my toe. Don't worry of being aligned, completely aligned, or maybe a little bit backwards, because you're still gonna have some defense. You're not gonna fall just by having a neutral position, as I mentioned before. You always have your legs to keep balance whenever you want. So you're gonna step back with one punch. You're gonna step back with another punch. You're gonna step back. Always having the same connections. So you go 1, 2, 1, 2. I would suggest to start with the 1, 2. The 1, 2 is perfect to start with. 1, 2. You go backwards and 2. Once you get the first thing moving in a straight line, remember this is human chess. This is always looking for a position, a better position, so you can punch your opponent. So in this case, I'm going to be an aggressive defense, but by moving away from my opponent, but also punching. So I'm going to do a jab moving backwards, and at the same time, I'm going to throw my cross, but moving to the side. So the lateral step we just did before. So we go 1, 2, and I move laterally. And I can do the same thing as a southpaw. I'll go back 1, 2, and I move out of the way. 1, 2, or it could be a jab hook too. A jab and a hook, and you move out of the way from your opponent. You move, jab, hook, you move out of the way. Remember to always keep the same connection. To work from orthodox, you work from orthodox. You throw your body backwards, of course, always having your weight distributed to the leg that is moving. So I move here, taking my head out of the center line, and then I move my body out of the line, and then I pull back. And from the southpaw, it's exactly the same. The best way you can train this, of course, doing some human chess with another partner. Technical sparring, of course. Human chess is all about the technique, expressing your body and don't taking your opponent's head off. But you have to make sure that don't focus on not losing, because if you focus on not losing, you forget about winning. Remember that if you're focusing all the time of not losing, you are going to forget to win. Just try to be present, breathe, and enjoy the sparring. Remember that I have my Spanish courses, laterally.com, if you wanna learn, and I'm gonna do some English courses as well. There are full-length classes of 1 hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, where we train with all the equipment, with heavy bats, with tennis ball, with the agility ladder, different things that you will improve. So definitely go check my website, www.laterally.com. I'll see you next week.